Welcome back to a live version of the Strategic Veteran. And tonight we're going to talk about something that really pisses a lot of veterans off. You get told cyber is the clean path to a six-figure job after service. You get told your military training will translate, and then you hit the wall everyone hits. You can't get hired because you don't have experience, and you can't get experience because no one will hire you. It's a broken system, it wastes talent, and it's a national security problem on top of that. So some people have reached out to me, and I've decided to bring them on tonight who are actually fixing the gap instead of talking about it. And so first up, we have Jesse Davis, the owner of CyberRST. He is the founder, the CEO. He's got a unique story, which we're going to dive into on why he's creating this. And he's brought his chief training officer, Nihar. I'm going to butcher your last name, Sa, I believe. Am I right, Nihar?
Yeah, you got it.
Got it. Yes. And he's the chief training officer. And then we've got Kevin Brand, who is the Chief Development Officer at RST. And these guys are here to talk about cybersecurity and everything related to it, what they're doing, what they've built, why they built it, all of that. So we're going to dive right in, and we're going to talk about, first, whoever wants to take this question, I imagine it'll probably be Jesse. What is the problem? What's the biggest reason veterans can't get hired into cyber roles, even when they have certs? And Jesse, if you're going to take this question, please tell everybody why you started this, because it's not lost on me that you applied to a ridiculous number of jobs to get a help desk job, right?
Correct. So I started this company. I lost my government job in April, and I was still on a probationary period, and obviously I got dosed. Right, Elon Musk personally came and shook my hand and told me, get the hell out the door. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, he never showed up. I was hoping he would. At least I got to have a cool story.
Right.
But so it took me over 1,400 tries to get the current job I've got. And here's the thing: I have a master's. I've got almost 20 years in the service. I'm still in the reserve currently, and I've got a master's in cybersecurity, which used to give you, quote unquote, a couple years worth of experience. That's how the workforce viewed it. That's not the case anymore. The master's is the new bachelor's. Oh, if you get your master's and your security plus, and a security clearance, you've got a job. That's baby back bullshit. And yes, I said it. I mean it too. It took me 1,400 tries, and it is the truth. And I'm not the only veteran dealing with this. The degree and certification market is flooded right now. There's a lot of cert chasers. They'll get their degree, and then they're like, well, maybe if I get one more cert. That's the problem, is that the market has been flooded with all of these different certs. And I know exactly where people are coming from. I've slept in my car, before I ever came down to Florida. I know how it feels to get laid off more. I'm 39 years old. I went through the financial crisis of 2008 trying to get a job at that time. And all the baby boomers took the jobs at Lowe's. So now what we have are a bunch of programmers who have no job, cybersecurity analysts who have no job. So the problem is, again, hey, I'll give you a cert, I'll give you a degree. Theoretical is great, but most of the stuff's usually 5 to 10 years behind anyways. And then they wonder why stuff keeps getting hacked. So what I did was I said, you know what? It's time to put a hands-on approach with this. Not just reading a book or studying for, cramming for another certification. It has to be changed. And I wanted to be the guy to do that.
I love it, man. Nihar, this next question is for you, brother. So every service member is told their training is going to set them up on the outside. I don't care what MOS they're coming out of or job field that they're coming out of. And that's simply not true. So what is actually the truth, knowing that you're the chief training officer at RST?
Well, the truth is kind of what Jesse had alluded to. The systems being proprietary to the military and to the branches is going to be different than the ones that are in the civilian workforce. So all of the certifications that you have when you were enlisted in the military and all the training that you've done, it's not necessarily applicable to the transition into the civilian workforce. And, I think everyone here has been in the situation where you have to go without work in a field where you have, invested time in, because no job is willing to take an opportunity and grow you. You know, like we said, the certifications are just the entry into the job. But the thing is now there needs to be a bridge between having the certification and actually getting your foot in the door and getting an interview with a tech company.
And that's where you come in, right, Kevin? So you're the chief development officer at RST. So, what are you seeing? Why doesn't the cyber experience translate into the civilian cyber hiring? And how are you guys managing that at RST to help these guys get, jobs?
Well, one of the main things that we've done, we've created a 5-month program that's an intensive elite program, focusing on veteran students, new cybersecurity professionals. Because what the big problem is, Adam, is like I'm like many cybersecurity professionals. Okay, I was out there looking for a job for years in the cybersecurity profession. I had to take other professions or other jobs just to make a living because my certifications were not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Every time that you end up applying to a lot of these jobs, they're telling you that you need hands-on experience, or you don't have enough experience, or you need 3 years experience, or you need 5 years experience. But I mean, I just got finished going through a 6-month or over a year, 2-year courses
Yeah.
to get all the certifications and training that is needed. But see, the problem is that when you're getting all them certifications and you're doing all of that, it's all theoretical. It's all
Right.
things that you're learning here. It's not. And also, let's add this to it. When you do get to utilize the tools, the SEAM tools, they're all open source tools. When you go for a job in a corporation, they're not using open source tools. They're using enterprise tools that are like Tenable, Sentinel-1, specific tools that are in the businesses and corporations. But when you're going through the training, you don't utilize those tools. It's most of the time it's strictly open source tools. So you never get that hands-on experience that you need. So for our program, what we've created is that you get that hands-on experience. You'll work with Tenable. You'll work with Sentinel-1. You'll work with Splunk. You'll work with Wireshark. You'll work with, all of these well-known tools that are used in enterprise and businesses and organizations and the government out there, so that you'll have the hands-on experience that you need. We also help you develop a professional resume. We have HR professionals that we utilize to help you get that professional resume that you need so you can get into the door. We also work on your LinkedIn page, because LinkedIn is one of the primary tools that's utilized now to get job opportunities, to network, and to just get yourself known.
Right.
Yeah. We also have a dashboard that we're building, and we're working with our other partners that is going to help them build their career resume, resume builder. Also for our veterans who are dealing with any type of mental health, because we know that's a big issue. We have something for them as well. We have a leadership track as well. So we have many different things in our 5-month program that we're looking to provide to give people the hands-on experience that we need. We're even dealing with future technologies. We're dealing with quantum cryptography as well. So we're looking towards the present and the future, because we know that, one, cybersecurity is not going anywhere. Okay, the future is going to AI and quantum.
Yep.
So we've introduced that into our program because, like I said, our program is to make sure that these veterans who are going through a lot, the students who are going through a lot, and the new cybersecurity professionals who are out there struggling are able to take care of themselves and their families, because this is a big gap that's been here for a long time, and everybody just looks at it and like goes, oh, well, it's time for somebody to fix it.
Right.
So CyberRST is here to fix it. We're trying to fix this problem now because we're tired of it, and we've all gone through it, because we all have been either like Jesse and like Bill. They're veterans. Me and Nihar, we were cybersecurity students, so we all know the struggle. We all know the stress, and, somebody needs to resolve this. So we took it upon ourselves, especially with Jesse, to resolve this situation at this point in time.
Yeah, and by all accounts, Jesse, you've identified why this matters. There's 500,000 unfilled cybersecurity roles, And I'm trying to wrap my brain around how it's possible that there's so many openings, but veterans can't. I mean, 1,400 fucking applications to get a help desk job, man. Like, by all accounts, your resume, your credentials, you're overqualified for this. So there's got to be some kind of a breakdown here. Like, what are you seeing? Like, why does this matter so much? And like, how are you approaching fixing this? Like, what gave you this idea? How did you come up with this whole program? All of it.
The thing is like there's a lot of fly-by-night companies that are doing so-called their boot camp and maybe if you want to call it hands-on. The piece that's missing is truly hands-on. Like Kevin brought up, you have to use the day-to-day software. It's no different than a carpenter having a hammer.
I actually have an example of this. I'm looking for an intern to take post-production off my plate for the actual like recorded version of this podcast because I just don't have time to do it anymore. I need help, right? I want to give somebody that intern experience who's interested in, media production for podcast companies. I've had several conversations with actual companies who do this that I just don't want to pay or can't afford to pay to do it for me. And I asked them the question, like, is it unreasonable to ask a veteran to come in and get real hands-on experience in a real life project? They say it's 1,000 times better to do it on a real life project because the stakes are higher because it's already operating. I've already put out 160 of these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's super powerful. So to give you a real life example, what you're talking about,
it has to take place. And now you've got Nano on the horizon, which we're looking to hopefully bring that into the fold as well. If we can pull this off. We are working on quantum, like I said, like Kevin has talked about. And I see Georgia talked about the help desk role has been turned down. I agree with him. Now they're wanting 1 to 3 minimum years of experience for cyber, right?
And where are you supposed to get that? Where are you supposed to get that example?
How in the hell are you going to get it if nobody's going to give it to you?
Absolutely.
Right? It doesn't make any sense. Here's the thing. Louisiana State University, one of the worst university systems in the country. I wouldn't send my dog there who is 12 years old, which would be 84 in human years. I wouldn't send him to learn there. Followed by Mississippi. But if they can figure it out, why can't the rest of the country? What I mean by that is that they have a SOC set up. They have 39 colleges, give or take, within the LSU system, right? So I say college universities because obviously some of it's community colleges. They set up a SOC. By the time those students leave, they've gotten paid. Yes, the student study wages, the work study wages, but they're still getting paid. And they have 1,000 hours of hands-on experience for SOC. And it saves the university tons of money, so they're not getting hacked. It's simplicity. Why do we always have to go to stupidity, right? I don't understand how it's not a hard fix. Mm-hmm. But when it comes down to the bottom dollar, I wish I lost my train of thought.
Bill, you wish Bill was here?
Yeah, COO was here tonight. Unfortunately, he's sick. But that being said, we've talked about it. There are, CEOs who are of multi-million and even pushing billion-dollar corporations who are like, cyber's not needed. And they give them you understand, we have to have a budget. I mean, Congress just blows it out their ass every day. So I wish I had an unlimited paycheck, but reality doesn't work that way, right? Yeah. And they get arrogant. They don't want to put in money for what is something that should be paramount. Yeah, it has to be, and it's not. Again, it's not a hard fix. If you get a good foundational training, we would be fine. And most guys, if you took, and I recruited for 10 years. For those that, I've seen that. Yosef brought it up. Ethical hacking, yes. But again, you're looking at everything's always about the bottom dollar, and that's why I love the capitalist society, right? But at the same time, greed has become a major problem, and they're not preparing for a win. It's just like, whatever. It's a maybe. It's a big fat maybe. Kids now are able to, my 5-year-old who just turned 5 can operate the TV better than me. Okay. Yeah,
it's wild. It's why
It's crazy.
I remember this. My best friend, his son was probably 3 or 4 years old. We went to the barber shop and they handed him his phone on YouTube, and he was doing things on YouTube I didn't even know how to do at 3 or 4 years old. And I'm like, how is this possible, man? It's just like they're just born with something that just allows them to adapt, and it floors me, man. And I
like the programming. You know, I've met a kid here. The father's looking to have me mentor him a little bit. He accidentally created, he's lucky it was an accident, but he brought down the school network by accident with literally keystrokes. He knows Python very well. They were doing it. They wanted it, and he brought down the system here.
Yeah.
But he got 2 IT guys fired because, again, arrogance.
Right.
It's simple, you know. Naivety leads to arrogance. Arrogance obviously leads to failure. Right? You can't see your own hand in front of your own face. And they're not, I agree, George, they're not taking security seriously. They're pushing it off like, whatever. These kids are a hell of a lot smarter when it comes to tech than me.
That's right.
I'm about as dumb as a box of rocks and I have the memory of a goldfish, but at least I'm honest about it.
Well, and I think that leads into the next bigger problem that we talked about in the introduction. This is a huge national security issue, correct?
Yes, it is.
So for whichever one of you wants to take this, or if all three of you want to comment on this, why is this such a big national security issue? Besides the obvious reason that we were just talking about, you got kids taking down the entire school network with a few keystrokes because they don't know what they're doing.
Well, let me just answer that very quickly. One of the main reasons is because, like we talked about earlier, you have 400 to 500,000 cybersecurity professionals sitting on the sideline. So where does this put our businesses, organizations, and our government? We're at risk. We're vulnerable to threats. And the new threat attacker nowadays, he's using quantum cryptography because that's where everything is going.
Paired with AI, correct? Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because see, one of the main things is this. You know, when you deal with encryption, right? And you have asymmetric and symmetric encryption, right? So when we deal with encryption and everything now with cybersecurity, everything's in bits. Well, quantum cryptography deals with
qubits, right?
Qubits, right? So these are smaller than bits. They're moving faster to solve problems, and they have more areas to solve problems than bits.
Exponentially more, right?
Exponentially, yes. Yeah. So the thing is that, yeah, right now, they may not be able to break the asymmetric encryption or symmetric encryption, but as quantum builds, so does that ability to break all of those encryptions that we set up in all of our governments, all of our businesses, whether it's, AES encryption or ECC encryption. It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. The quantum is going to end up breaking this over time. So we need to get ahead of the game. You know, we need to get our foundation set in now, because if we wait till later, we're going to be in trouble as a country. You know, we have the structure, we have the people there now who want to get into these jobs, who want to work. So we need to make sure that they get into the pipeline so they can get the jobs that they want.
Yeah.
You know, our organizations, our businesses, our governments are sitting there waiting for these people. Well, let's hire them. Let's get them into the position where they can get hired. So we're going to provide them with all the hands-on experience that they need to get hired. We are talking about out of our program, just from us in the program, we're talking about over 520 hours of hands-on experience. And that doesn't include the other hands-on experience that they'll be doing on their own. So they could leave our program with close to 1,000 hours of hands-on experience.
It's like a year's worth of work, right? More.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In 5 months.
And I love this point that George is making here. He says the other big issue is the pressure to get a product or an app out, and security is not even thought about. I actually have experience with this because I love the vibe coding thing. I love where AI is opening the landscape for everybody to ideate and really actually create something, a product, and put it out there. But you don't know what you don't know. And so he's right. Nobody knows about level security and backends and all of that. They just know that you can take AI and create an app, and people are doing this big apps, and then they're getting hacked, and all this data is vulnerable out there. It's wild, man. It's wild what's going on with this. let's talk about. I mean, we talked about the catch-22. It's like you need experience to get hired, but you can't get hired to get experience. You guys are actually, I think that's what's going to turn the industry upside down for you guys. Is you designed this, Jesse, with that in mind, correct? I mean, we just talked about 520 hours of hands-on experience, not including the experience you're going to get on your own time, to finish your course with nearly 1,000 hours, close to 2 years probably of real-life training should uniquely qualify you for this. So why is the industry like this? Why are they doing this? Why are they disqualifying you because they want 3 years experience to be on a help desk?
Well, like how George put it best, he said they don't want to pay for quality. And here's
George
the
is
thing.
right.
You don't want to, I don't understand why, especially you're talking about we're paying, we're literally, in a sense, we are paying to have a credit score to keep ourselves in debt. People want to talk about slavery. We're in modern day slavery. When you're charging 30 to 35% interest for a credit card,
Out of
I
control.
will go back to Equifax in 2017 as an example. They were hacked. They knew for months ahead of time that they were going to get hacked. The FBI warned them. And they didn't give two shits about the average person. And they proved that. Then just to cover their ass CYA, they sent out, and South Park even made fun of it. They sent out literally a 5 to 10 page synopsis you're not going to read. You clicked accept, and then boom, they you can't sue them. They're just like, no, I don't know. We didn't know they were going to click it. They had an entire legal team build that up because the average American is not going to read it.
Nope.
Right? The average American wants convenience. I mean, dude, if I had crumble cookie right here, I'm ordering that shit at midnight too. Right? We're now at 70% obesity. I'm just saying. Right? So that being said, you think about that. You literally have a company that doesn't care. Target, same thing. We can go back a couple years before that, right? I understand profit. You got to pay bills. Things have got to keep moving. It's just the capitalist way. But again, this was something that could have been prevented. And then on top of it, it's pretty bad. It has to go to satirical humor where, Apple all of a sudden owns you. That was the whole joke of the entire Human Centipede episode. And most people don't even understand it.
Right.
They took a horror movie and made it into a comedy.
Yeah.
And I love the guy, whoever plays Butters, dude. Butters is like my favorite character. He's so innocent, like reading through the entire thing, and he goes, "No, I don't think I want to be somebody. Yeah, I don't want to be a part of a human centipede attached to someone's anus. No, I decline." Right? As soon as I read about that hacking and they try to get me to it, yeah, absolutely not. Convenience, you're right. Convenience is the fatal flaw, is the fatal issue. I agree, Yusuf.
Mm-hmm.
This situation, again, the average person didn't even think about it. Man, as soon as I saw that article, I was like, please send me something. I clicked decline so that I could sue the shit out of them. Mm-hmm. And they deserve it. And that's the thing. There's no fines. There's nothing. We can go back to Wells Fargo literally committing fraud, opening up an extra debit card in your name that they charge you $5 a pop. So if you now have 2 debit cards, guess what? They're charging you $10 a month. Well, when you have what is it, 100 million customers, give or take? That's a lot of money, buddy. And then they didn't even get put out of business. They should have been fined into oblivion. That's fraud. And anyone that was a part of that should have been put in prison.
Yeah,
absolutely.
If you and I had done that, where would we be? And that's what I'm talking about. It's all about the convenience, and they don't care. That's why somebody has got to turn this on its head. Period.
Yeah, totally. Nihar, I want you to break down the training model. Like, what can veterans expect from day one all the way through the program that makes you guys so unique, and how you have structured all of this to uniquely qualify them to really turn this industry on its head, and I think flood the market with high quality individuals in cybersecurity who are disciplined, who have leadership abilities, who have a work ethic, who know how to problem solve, who know how to adapt. Because I don't know enough about cybersecurity, admittedly, so I feel way out of my depth having this conversation with you guys. But I know enough, to really kind of understand, based on talking to Jesse and Bill before we set this up, that it's serious, and there's a big gap here. So I want those that are listening, that are giving us their time tonight to hear about this, that are truly interested, to understand what this program you guys have put together is.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate the question. and definitely the qualifier of the focused veterans that are that are interested in learning about cybersecurity, ready to learn something new, to invest time and effort, sweat equity into going down a new career path. It definitely helps to have a pathway and a structure, whether it's self-designed or if it's through a program. So definitely we appreciate that. In terms of our program, so what differentiates us from more traditional boot camps is that we've got several layers that exist, and these layers are going to complement the actual program of the mentorship academy. So Mr. Kevin Brand, he's developed the mentorship academy as our chief training officer. So he can definitely go and tell you more about the week to week curriculum. But again, the whole curriculum is extremely intensive, 4 hours per day, and it's hands on as well as lecture based training, because you're going to have over 600 hours of hands on experience once you've completed the CyberRST Leadership Academy. And that is what is going to be the answer to the biggest riddle, which is why are people not able to get jobs in the cybersecurity industry. It really is, I think, lack of experience with enterprise ready tools. Because if you can actually use the script on a certain app and it works, you have the confidence and you know that it will work in an interview and you can speak about it. And again, it's all about the interview prep, the the mental health services that our partners provide for veterans when they're also transitioning out, as well as all of the AI driven curriculum that we have that kind of separate us from a lot of the other boot camps
Yeah, I
that
think that's
that
probably
we
the,
want
the
to be
big
different.
important one, right? Like the integration of AI into everything. That's the future. And we have Cynthia joining us. I believe you're filling in for Bill tonight. Welcome.
Hi,
Thank you.
Hey,
Uh,
Cynthia. Adam, can I just add on a little bit to what Nihar was speaking about?
absolutely, brother.
Okay. Well, what I want to let everybody know is that this is not just a boot camp or a training program. This is a mentorship residency program,
I
which
was going to get
means,
there. I was going to get
yeah,
there.
because I want to make the clear distinction, because normally when you go through normal training programs for your certification, you might have been online with AI or with somebody else, and nobody's really giving you direction. They're taking you through the program, they're teaching you the material, and that's it. You're gone at the end. You get your certification, you pass the test, that's it. That's not what we have here. We have a mentorship program where you're going to get the proper direction. You're going to get taught the proper way. We're going through the materials. We're going to make sure that you know and understand what you're talking about. After you know and understand what you studied, then you're going to do the hands-on experience to take it to the next level. Okay. See, I went through a mentorship program. I went through my certifications. I have 10 plus certifications in different fields of cybersecurity, but I still couldn't get a job. But what made the difference was when I went to my mentorship program, my mentor told me things like, sit up straight. If you're going to go out and you want to get this type of job in cybersecurity, you have to wear a suit. You have to dress a certain way. You have to make sure that you begin to use the terminology that you've learned in cybersecurity through your normal conversations when you're speaking to people about interviews in different positions. You know, and it really began to click. You see what I mean? He was able to take all of the practical things that I had learned and really have me start applying those things so that I could really see and become the person that I needed to be as a cybersecurity professional.
I love that
So
you're pointing this out, Kevin, because this reminds me of my insurance, my foray into the insurance world. You take all the tests to get the certifications for all the book work, all that bullshit. And I actually had a good mentor in the industry who told me none of that shit actually matters. You learn all of it when you're actually writing policies, having conversations with customers, doing the hands-on work. So it's a formality to get the licenses that you need in order to quote unquote sell insurance, which I think is, you don't actually learn it. You actually learn things the wrong way, I feel like. And I kind of feel like that's what you're alluding to with cybersecurity is they learn the wrong way, and you're here to fix that.
right. See, it's what it is that we all go to school and we learn a lot of the valuable information, Adam. And it's not really the wrong way. It's good. We need that practical application. We need the mental knowledge, but we need the physical manifestation, the application of that knowledge too. That's the part that's missing. You see
Yeah.
what I mean? That's the part that people are not able to get. And that's the part that keeps us from getting the job that we want to get. Because we all apply to the jobs, but what do they say? Well, you don't have the experience, you don't have the hands-on, you never utilize this tool. Well, how, like everybody's been saying since we started the podcast, how do you get the experience if you don't hire me for the job? How do I ever get that experience?
Yeah.
So we have over 400 to 500,000 people out there who can't get the experience. So what we've done from day one, week one, month one, we cover GRC, we cover ethics, we cover AI. We start to get into month two. And oh, don't forget, month one, we begin hands-on like the first week, that Friday. The first thing we begin to go over is because it's important for cybersecurity professionals to know GRC. That's a new foundation that's coming into effect. Everybody has to know that. Everybody has to know ethics, because if you can't be a cybersecurity professional if you don't know have ethical conduct. That's important. Okay. Then we start to go into blue team, red team exercises. Now, blue team are defense, our red team are attackers, our pen testers. We have them go into different aspects of hands-on. Our blue team will go through Sentinel and Sentinel-1, Sentinel-1 and Tenable. Our red team might go to Splunk, Seam Tools, Wireshark, TCP dump. Now they're going to be analyzing files and doing different things, pen testing. We go on further to where, they might go to different ranges that we have set up for them on our platform, where they're going to be competing against each other.
Yeah.
Blue team, the red team's going to be attacking the blue team. Blue team's going to be trying to protect it. Okay, we're going to be dealing with, like I mentioned, ACE, authentication, files, malware, phishing, spoofing, encryption. We have quantum cryptography in there. We have nanotechnology in there. We have AI, beginning AI and advanced AI in our course. Over those 5 months, we go through every different major certification that most cybersecurity professionals have. It's designed that way so that we cover all of the certifications that they have. And while they're going through the program, say you have a certification as a cybersecurity, foundations of cybersecurity, but now you want to learn CompTIA. Well, you can also learn CompTIA while you're going through our mentorship program. You can learn our program and CompTIA at the same time. So when you graduate at the end, you'll get a certification for our program and a plaque, and you'll get a certification for CompTIA at the end. Along with, like I said, in the 5th month, we polish everybody off. We make sure that your resume is right, LinkedIn's right. We want to make sure that you're the top cybersecurity professional so that when you leave our program, you're ready to go to that first job interview and walk into that job because you're ready.
Yeah,
And
we have a question, Kevin. And I don't know who's qualified to answer this, but Jonathan Cavalluzzi is asking: can you still use the program if we already have certs such as Sec Plus?
Absolutely.
And then
Absolutely.
you have another one from Mr. Cookie 8904. He's asking: the prizes feel Tulu to be a true mentorship program, or am I looking in the wrong place? Thank you.
You're not looking in the wrong place. So, Mr. Cookie, I love it. The mentorship thing came through. We're looking about $12,000 is what we're going to do. Okay. Give or take, because we've got to make sure that we cover the certs, but I want to make sure my instructors are, paid well. Right. And that being said, I'm going to make sure that you get not just a certification, but like Kevin has talked about, a mentorship. You have to have somebody lead you, right? To make leaders, they're not born. Somebody taught them. There's not a lot of Alexander the Great's running around, okay? Just inherently just can conquer a third of the known world at the time, all right? Or half, I guess, half of the known world, give or take.
He had people around him.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
He was very demanding, okay? But that being said, yes, we're looking at 12,000 for this 5-month program, spreading it out, and we'll have payment options available. All right. We are looking to be obviously verified, certified with the VA, the tuition assistance to the military. We've got some other parts in this is where obviously Miss Cynthia comes in, who has the university and college background, taught college, but it's a whole different ballpark and a whole different ball game when you go to the university and college level.
Yeah. You want to talk about that, Cynthia?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you, Adam. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for their service to our great country. This program is very personal to me because my dad is a veteran. He's a Vietnam veteran. So what Jesse and Kevin and Nahar are trying to accomplish here is just so super important for everybody else. So what I am charged to do, with that being said, is because my extensive background is in higher education for over 20 years, formalizing partnerships, augmenting courses and programs, what Jesse and team is trying to do here would just flow nicely for universities and colleges to adopt the training that Jesse and Kevin are going to be putting these students through, so that these students are able to transfer their knowledge into a college or university. And what we're also trying to accomplish is trying to get ACE recommended college credits in the near future, so that students can go in with college credits or university credits, as well as shortening their time to be able to finish their degree program. There's 20,000 degrees that are awarded every single year in cybersecurity and IT, but there's only a fraction of that. There's about 500 courses among all those degrees that are in quantum. So we're really excited about the cybersecurity and IT training that's going to be launched here. And that is my part, is to go to higher education institutions to be able to advocate for the students on this type of training.
And secure partnerships, hopefully, right?
Exactly. That is number one goal, to secure
awesome.
Partnerships. Absolutely.
Yeah, because it's like, I mean, if you spend 20 years in a cybersecurity role in the government, it doesn't mean you're completely worthless because the systems are different, right?
Right.
It just means you need to translate it better, but there's no program in place at any college that helps do that. So it's super important, your role, and I admire you for doing that. It's because we as veterans need all the help we can get. The TAP program is screwed. It's why I have a platform. It's what I advocate for a lot, as that's expanding into more veteran issues, obviously, because we're here tonight. But I love seeing these comments. We got George talking about a lot of the trainings today are behind the current landscape, echoing what you're saying. And he's new, from best I can tell, into the industry, talking about, just getting started. And it's an entry-level role. They want you to have a CISSP that has a 5-year experience requirement. It's just echoing the same problem that you guys are out here trying to fix. And I just don't know.
I will tell him personally, that's bullshit. I agree with him. I know what he's going through. How in the hell are you going to get a CISP, Certified Information System Security Professional, which is technically managerial role, when you have to have experience? So again, they're smoking crack and smelling the color purple. Right? Yeah, I said it out loud. Somebody had to. Yeah, I feel you, because I've looked at those jobs. They're I don't know what plane of reality they're on. A CISP requires somebody to sponsor you, and you have to have at least a minimum of 5 years experience to even get that. Plus, the CISP is only bragging rights anyways. Guess what? CompTIA, you can go get Security Acts. The DoD, the government recognizes as a level 3 cert. I just saved you a lot of time and a lot of pain, brother. I'll tell you that right now. I tried studying for that thing, and I'm ADD as shit, right? Yeah. 1,600 pages, not to include like thousands of questions that they can choose from. Okay? So I feel your pain. But check it out. If you are prior service or you're not, if you can get your hands on a security clearance, which is another thing that I've diligently worked on. The DCSA handles 90% of all background checks for security clearances. I've done the legwork to go out and reach out to those guys. I'm like, hey, we want to send you guys somebody that's professional. They can pass a drug test, right? A background check and a security area. Checking their credit. My apologies. We just talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
Again, goldfish, right? So that being said, imagine we're able to get that. And the biggest piece we need to fix is while we're doing this, like Cynthia's talked about, getting them college hours, but they've got to get it at the same time with the hands-on. Nailed it. Thank you, sir. Yes, CISP is horrible. I know how you feel, George. Get ready to pull your teeth out with yourself with pliers with no anesthesia, okay? Like, that's about where you're at with that thing. But again, you can get Security X. It's CompTIA's, what was the CASP, right? It is a level 3 expert level cert. You're not having to go again cert chasing, right? We've partnered with the 3 of the major cert companies like Nihar and Kevin have talked about. And guess what? If you go to the college and university, guess what they're doing? I'm gonna save you guys a few bucks. They're teaching the ebook because I teach college. They're teaching the ebook from CompTIA. They're teaching the ebook from ISC Squared. They're teaching the ebook from EC Council.
So just go buy the ebook.
Dude, yeah, you can buy it on Amazon. But the thing is like I try to get it to them at a discounted rate. And the prices are cheap for the certs because I still got to cover, again, when it comes to any business, you got overhead, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I want to make sure that you guys get your bang for your buck. Why are we paying 3 ways from Sunday? And I hadn't even gotten to what my initial goal was in the first place. Do you know why most veterans are looking to even go into cybersecurity in the first place?
Because it's lucrative, I would assume.
But I mean, yes, you're not wrong, but to continue the mission. Some of them don't, like, as you know, I just want a purpose.
Yeah.
And, and one thing that, Bill RCO and I have talked about a lot is the suicide rate.
Yep.
Can you please explain to me when you have what is it, 200,000 getting on maybe give or take every year?
250 every year.
250. And we're having about 20, basically a suicide or 2 a day, whatever it is, 20,000 or more. Yep. Right. That's my hometown, bro. Mm-hmm. 20,000 people every year because they can't fit into society. They're not doing a damn thing for them. And it's very unfortunate. Most veterans fall back on drugs and alcohol because they don't know how to fit in.
Yep. 1,000%, man.
Yeah.
Across all industries.
I've been there. Unfortunately, I've been there. When you're trying to drown your sorrows with alcohol,
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
I never found what I was looking for in the bottom of the bottle.
Same. And right now, I feel like I found a purpose. Yeah. I don't know what it is, what's driving me, but I know this shit has got to be fixed.
Have you put anybody through this yet?
We had a couple students go through for Security Plus, but it was kind of a trial run, a dry run, because we wanted to have, but it turned more into like, man, we're just doing like everybody else, another boot camp.
So you used it as feedback to develop the actual program, which is, I think that's how we iterate, we build, we iterate, we collect feedback, and then we do it all over again, right?
Absolutely.
I want to, as we start to spend the last few minutes here together, I want to really speak to the veterans who are interested in cyber and want to avoid wasting time. So if they're tuning into this, they truly are interested in cyber. It's not me for sure, but I know there's a lot of guys. It just doesn't. I mean, like I would have to go through all of it. Purple Team sounds like it'd be a really cool thing to do. I don't know. I just like nefarious things or whatever. But for those that really are wanting to pursue a career in this and climb that ladder, make as much money as they can, do wonderful things in this, whatever. What's the first thing they should do tonight? Where should they start? What should they start doing and stop doing immediately?
First thing is they're going to need to obviously, what is cybersecurity, right?
Yeah.
Learn hey man, AI apparently is everybody's best friend.
It's fucking cool, right? Man. It's really cool what you could do with it.
I'll tell you what, I'm lazy. So I was like, man, AI, no. And then next thing I know, I've got Copilot and ChatGPT downloaded on my phone. Gotta, verify, right?
Wait till you have 5 or 6 of them, brother.
Oh, God.
God.
Or we could go. That's a whole nother topic.
A whole nother topic.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to do with the team I brought together is that I want to show people that, if my dumb ass can do it, you can do it, right? What I mean by that is that we are looking at a chance to change the industry as a whole. And I've reached out across the pond because guess what? Politics aside, we got the geriatrics ward running the country. They barely know how to walk at this point, much less they want to get their iMessages out and get their tweets out, which no one gives a shit about. What is a serious issue is that China unfortunately will take 10,000, literally, I'll give you an example, Huawei, 10,000 individuals and threw it at AI, all the PhD.
Yep.
I will tell you, we've got to put politics aside right now. Who gives a shit? I'm sorry, but who gives a shit? Both political parties I'm done, right? They're not helping the average American. All the average American wants is a decent job that they're going to be happy with, be able to have a vacation, and have health benefits.
Yeah.
Right? Take 1 or 2 vacations a year, go home and bitch about your family and come back, right? Like every time, I don't want to go home, but you go home anyways, right? So, but I've reached out to, we're talking the European Union here, India right now, and Australia. India's leading the way right now in quantum. And just like us, they got to pay the bills and they've got families to feed. And India's like, hey, we want to go with America, but right now, so who are they going to? Russia and China. Mm-hmm. It's lunacy to me, right?
You're seeing that in the AI race with China as well.
Yeah.
China doing it cheaper, doing it faster, and then releasing it to us, collecting more data, and then training it. And it's like,
Exactly.
I mean, we talked about that earlier, right? You talked about the terms of service, and everybody just clicks accept, and it takes me back to like the TikTok terms of service, and like, BitDance is a Chinese company, but if you actually dive into the terms of service, you're giving them carte blanche. If you download it on any device that you have, they now have access to every device on your network, every single device on your network. That's wild. Device. And nobody knows that they're giving them permission to do that because they bury it in 30 pages of legalese that none of us want to read or speak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly. And that's why they do it, because they know nobody's really going to read it, and we've got to the point where we've given over our security due to convenience. It's like I like to say about America, we're a fast food country. We want everything fast. We want it all now, but we don't think about the security or privacy of some of the things that we're doing.
Well, and I actually want to kind of let's just go kind of off the rails here. I think cybersecurity kind of plays into, we know China makes a lot of the components for our power grid. We know our power grid sucks, right? I feel like cybersecurity is a big part of that, right? Like we should be paying attention to what's going on. And I know there was just an article or an interview that came out that like 48 of the main components that drive all of our power grids have fatal flaws where there's backdoors the Chinese can shut them off whenever they want.
Yeah, whenever they want.
Adam, let me tell you this. This is one thing my mentor told me at one point in time. And he told a lot of us in the cast. He said, do you know that a lot of the organizations and businesses out there know they have vulnerabilities, but they don't remediate them? They know about them, but they don't fix them all.
As a business owner, I can't understand that. Why wouldn't you protect your thing?
Because you want to think about it, because they think about it like this, like we talk about. It's all about the money.
Yeah.
If I'm a business owner and I hire Jesse to remediate my system, and Jesse goes, okay, well, I'm going to look at your system. You have 5 criticals, 4 highs, 3 mediums, and 2 low criticals. Okay, I'm going to remediate the critical ones and the high ones. I'm going to leave the mediums and the lows.
Well, that's not
and
how
keep
we
doing
do
that
things.
every month. Right. That's not how you're supposed to do things, but that's how it's being done.
That's called
and the
half-assed.
problem is, right.
Yes.
And the problem
Amen.
is that
is
that you have attackers out there who are utilizing the medium level and the low level to get into these companies and their organizations now. Now they've been sitting in your company for months, going back and forth through your systems, figuring out
just collecting whatever they want.
Collecting data and everything,
Yeah.
because you didn't remediate your system down to 0.
Because it's low-hanging fruit for them. They know that they're not paying attention to it. So maybe it's a little bit more effort, but it's really not, right? Because it's like throwing up like enter here, please. Kind of just point the arrow here, like old cartoons, the Looney Tunes cartoons.
Yes.
Like, enter here.
That's right. And that's what it is. And it's like you're leaving yourself, a whole company, a lot of the businesses, organizations, everybody's vulnerable because you're not doing it the proper way. You're doing it the fast way so that you can make money, but there's no quality there.
Right.
See, that's why we have the focus and we have the passion, because we know what's missing, and what's missing is the quality that is the hands-on to provide to the veterans and students, the quality of caring about people and putting them in the right position where they should be to protect our businesses and our government, the quality of taking care of our cybersecurity professionals and our veterans as well. We should be taking care of these people, not throwing them out there. We need to be doing something from the government aspect, from the organization aspect, from the company aspect, from the schools, the colleges and universities, to get everybody in the position where they need to be, because the whole purpose is supposed to be, we're all in this country together and we're supposed to be protecting it. You got people going through college and universities, they got certifications, but they can't get a job. People going through training and boot camps, they get the certification, but they can't get a job. We got veterans on proprietary old systems, legacy systems, they come out, but they can't get a job. Like, you're just building a workforce of people who can't get a job instead of people who should be the most active people that we should be looking at to get them right out there into the system and get them jobs, because these are the most people who are looking to protect us, and we're very vulnerable right now as a nation, and everybody knows this. It's like, so who's gonna fill it, the problem? Who's gonna, turn the key? Well, CyberRST is. That's why we're here. We're here to make this change and to turn that key so we can project ourselves on a different future than the one we're on, because the one we're on is going down. We need to get this thing back up again, Yeah,
totally. As we finish up here, Jesse, when does the program launch? How do people reach out to become a part of this program? How soon can they do it? All that good stuff. Just put it all out there.
So we're planning on kicking off our online boot camp, the online mentorship starting in January.
Okay.
And we have got all the, our basic course outline made. We got to start uploading courses. We've like we talked about, we've already got the main material for CompTIA, EC Council, and ISC Squared. And we're going to bring in the sandboxes so that you get to play, right? You're going to learn, you're going to destroy, you're going to tear up, and then you got to rebuild. Plan on kicking it off in January. And you asked about the foundational pieces. It's not a hard, I'll give you just a very quick example. If you want to be a penetration tester, you go Security Plus, write in a pen test, and a certified ethical hacker, right? And then you're going to learn about you, not just reading on a cert and studying for a test. You have to apply the hands-on piece to it. Most males do not like just sitting there and staring at, power at death by PowerPoint. They want to get their hands dirty, right? Theoretically speaking, some guys physically, right? That's how it sticks for most guys. That's how most guys learn. So we're planning on kicking off first week of January. I want to see as many people in as we can get. We really want to fix this.
What's the need right now, Jesse, or any of you? What is the need that maybe this live with my network can help you, meet some of these needs, fill some of these gaps that you have in order to reach more people and actually help you achieve your goal of turning the industry upside down?
So we've started our Indiegogo, and Nihar, Kevin, Cynthia, and Bill, you can reach out to us at the CyberRST page, or you can reach any one of us on LinkedIn. We're trying to get seed funding going, and we want to, do this right.
Do you have a link to the Indiegogo?
Yes.
Drop it in the chat, because it'll live here forever, and people can go and donate as much as they want. Okay. I encourage you to do so, because it's veterans doing incredible things for veterans.
You'll pop it in. Thank you, Nihar. If you can drop the Indiegogo in. Thank you, by the way, for that, Adam.
Of course.
It means a lot to us, and it means a lot to me. For my brothers and sisters that served, I'm very close to retirement. I got put out with some medical issues last year, but I had to go reserves. And, I will tell you, I went through that piece, and Bill went through that piece where you're over that 10, 12-year hump or whatever it may be. In my case, it's 16 years and 9 months when they gave me my papers, right?
It's a shitty feeling, man. I get it.
It is, man. Because like, what am I going to do now when you're that close? You didn't
Yep.
get to hit 18 years magically.
Magically,
right?
yeah.
Magically.
That wasn't an accident, was it?
Yeah. And I know that
this is coming from a guy who was in technically three different branches, right? Navy, Army, Navy, and you couldn't get either one of them to get you there.
Yeah, I'm really close. I'm facing the last piece in the reserve, and I'm calling it a day. Yeah. I love the service, but you know, it just with the politics and everything, it's washed into it. It's again, you know, I'm gonna leave that one aside for now. Yeah. But I do feel that the political spectrum is affecting something that is dire. And what is dire is that we need, like you guys have talked about, this has to be fixed. Don't get me wrong, you can throw a lot of numbers at it like China and India do when it comes down to things, but we've got to fix a very basic problem, build some quality. There's plenty of jobs. I'm telling you, if you go on LinkedIn, there's a ton of jobs. And I get what the gentleman was talking about earlier with CISP. That company, again, is smoking crack and smelling the color purple. There is no way you're going to get, you know, sorry to mean to kill Kevin there, but you're not going to walk in with a CISP without a sponsorship, right? But what you need is that quality, that hands-on training, which is what we are going to provide. We have done a lot of work. We're talking hours. We're talking 4 to 6 meetings a day. That's back and forth with setting up these strategic partnerships so that we want to keep the costs as low as possible for you guys, build something that's going to last for the next 4, 5, 6 decades. I don't know. Hopefully it outlasts me. And, you know, and that's why I found, met Cynthia. That's why I met Kevin. Nihar just asked me if he wanted to jump on the short bus and go for the crazy ride. He said he was down, you know, because it started out with just certs, but we did, you know.
Front seat. I took the front seat, guys.
Oh, so many cert companies out there. So I want to change that. And obviously what we're going to be, you know, doing here in the very short term. And I know it's right around the corner, but please, your New Year's resolution, come learn some cyber. We're going to hand you your bum on a silver platter. And, you know, it's going to be hard. But at the same time, you're going to walk out of there like, man, I know what's going on.
I think just my perspective of not knowing anything about the cybersecurity industry, really, I feel like what you've created is going to give anybody who goes through your program just a unique edge in the field, regardless of their experience level. I think what you've put together will just, you combine that with the high leverage skills that we come out of the military with, and, you know, the ability to be disciplined and to kind of stay the course and kind of take that step back and climb the ladder. I think they're going to outshine anybody in the industry right now. That's just my opinion based on the conversation we've had tonight. I assume that's obviously the goal, but is that kind of right on the money with what you're thinking?
And I know somebody had asked earlier, I saw it. They asked, hey, if I got 30 plus going to take this program, hell yeah, all are welcome, buddy. Because not everybody gets to join the military, right? Mm-hmm. I want to help you, show you what you need to do to become working for the defense contractors, to work for, I don't know if you want to work for as a government employee right now. Like, at least as a government contractor, you're going to get paid. But I want to show you what you need to do to get your foot in the door. And, you know, cyber is not going anywhere. It's only going to get crazier as quantum comes into the aspect. And AI is going to hit a certain threshold. Once it gets onto quantum, things are really going to change. Then we're going to see what AI is truly capable of. Right now, AI is probably the equivalent of a 5 or 10-year-old, give or take, right?
No, I would fight you on that, but
depends again how you look at it, right?
Well, of course, it's in its infancy for sure. It's in its infancy for sure. Infancy.
Yeah. Once it gets on quantum, we don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah, well, we don't even know what's going to happen when we get to quantum, right? Like
that's probably very, very, very
right, because everything's theoretical right now.
Yeah,
everything's really theoretical.
My brain doesn't understand theoretical, right? I was in Chicago earlier this year, and I got to have a conversation with two gentlemen who have founded a quantum cybersecurity company, and I was fascinated, even though I didn't understand a single word they were talking about. I was like, these guys are going to be uber billion. They're probably going to be trillionaires, because I've never heard of anybody interested in cybersecurity for quantum, because as far as I knew, quantum's just not there yet, right? But they're thinking way ahead, because obviously they're plugged into something that I'm not. And anyway, it's fascinating conversation. Jesse, I'm glad you and Bill reached out so that you trusted me to bring you on to talk about what you're doing in this industry, because I feel like I played a role in Google, IVMF reached out to me when Google gave them their new cybersecurity certification courses, which are free to veterans, which I think is an incredible program, right? But I just didn't know what I didn't know about the landscape, about the problems that Bill turned me on to, and then having the conversations with you, Jesse, and learning about applying to 1,400 jobs to get an IT help desk job, which seems like that would have been like me going to McDonald's at 17 is what I feel like an IT help desk job is. Like, not somebody who's been in the Navy twice and the Army with a master's degree and all these cybersecurity certifications to get a damn help desk job. Like, did you turn it off and turn it back on? Did you unplug it and plug it back in? Like, it's just a waste of fucking talent, man. And I hate it. I hate it so much. And so
when it comes, like I said, when it comes to medically speaking, everybody used to join the military and they can't get that legacy experience that Bill has talked to you about, right? They just get the piece of paper. I agree, George. Quantum is going to smoke everything once it's up and fully running.
It sure is.
Nanotech counterpart that I reached out to in Europe, if his nanotech does take off, he's going to be able to print stuff not in days, 3D printing in hours. And here's the thing, once helium's out of the way, that's what's holding quantum computing back. His parts don't overheat. Mm-hmm. So now that's going to be the piece. It's going to make quantum, whoever, the race is on. Yeah. And like you talked about, like,
and that leads into energy consumption and everything else, right? Like, so we're kind of out of time, guys. Like I said, Jesse, man, I really appreciate you and Bill reaching out to me, allowing me to really drive traffic to what you guys are doing, because I think it's really important to show vets another resource that's out there, and the civilians that follow me alike as well. I've dropped the link to your Indiegogo down there. Please go donate to these guys, because I think this is super important. I think this is going to create so much opportunity to do. And Bill is big on this, like I am. I started everything that I do to really curtail the suicide epidemic that plagues our community. I know that's Bill's big sticking point. I'm sure that's yours too, Jesse, and everybody else that's here. But really, Bill harped on that a lot in our conversation. And I do think that what you guys are doing is going to give them that purpose again, and just kind of purpose without question too. Like, what you're doing when you're doing something cyber, whether you're attacking, whether you're defending, whether you're doing both, all of it. It's unfettered purpose. You just understand at a level that you're doing something meaningful for other people. And I think that's super important. So guys, please go check them out. Please reach out to any one of these 4 guys and gal here, Bill also, on LinkedIn. You said you're all on LinkedIn, correct?
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, LinkedIn's a great platform. Go use it. I've had a lot of success there. I really believe in it. It's way better than all the other social media platforms. I really do appreciate you trusting me to do this with you guys, man. And I would love to, once you get launched, I'd love to bring you guys back so you can talk about the results, the transformations, and the experiences that you're finding. I would love to get some people from the program to come on and talk about their experience with the program. I want to stay in touch with you guys and keep doing things like this, because this is the only way we find out about resources like what you guys have created. You're not going to hear about this in a TAP class. You're not going to hear about this on the VA's website. You're not going to find this, nobody's going to be running around posts as you're out processing telling you that CyberRST exists. They're just not going to do it. Right. So it's my pleasure to have you guys, to host you guys, and to bring light to what you've created. And I really appreciate you guys.
No, we appreciate you, Adam. Thank you so much. Thank you. We really enjoyed
it. We really appreciate you guys having us on your platform.
Definitely. Very good. We would love to come back as well once everything gets up and running, and let you know how everything worked out as well. Definitely.
We got one last question. Raytheon resets anybody? I don't know what he's asking there. Maybe you guys know the context more than I do.
Oh, I think he's asking maybe I'm guessing he's asking if Raytheon accepts anybody. What you can do, sorry I didn't catch your name because it flashed away too fast.
Jonathan Cavalluzzi.
Jonathan, if you want to work for Raytheon, not every position requires a security clearance. You can actually get something called the public trust, which hit me up on LinkedIn. My name is Jesse Davis. Like I said, our page is CyberRST on LinkedIn. Hit us up, send us a message, and I can show you what you need to do. I literally built packets as an Army recruiter for 10 years. It is not hard to do. I can just be honest, and that's it. And they run a very basic background check for you on a public trust. Once you get past the top secret TSSCI, top secret SCI, then things get a little different. But a public trust, you got to have that to work in anything that is dealing with basic personal identifiable information. So reach out to us and I'll show you what you need to do. I've built, like I said, plenty of background checks, man. Plenty. I put 300 people in the Army. while I was recruiting.
Thank you guys so much for being here, Jesse. I really appreciate your trust, man.
Sure.
And we will see everybody next time with another awesome, company that's doing incredible things to be a resource for the community. Thanks again, guys. Take care, everybody.
Take care, Adam. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.